As someone who has found myself in week-long, month-long, even year-long slumps where I just did not have the energy to do anything, no motivation at all, literally didn't want to get out of my bed some days, even brush my crusty teeth, okay? And you know, the day would come where I would maybe start to feel a little bit better, and then I'd get back into my routine, find some motivation again, just for me to be humbled by life again and find myself in a slump again. So I'm the CEO of getting into slumps, but also getting out of them. I'm gonna teach you exactly how to get out of your slump, stop that negative cycle, and bounce back stronger than ever. So if you're currently in a slump right now, the negative cycle that you're in ends today. So first, you gotta understand why you are in that slump in the first place. There are so many different reasons why you could be in the slump right now. Maybe you're currently in a career that you really dislike. Maybe some type of unfortunate circumstance happened, like you lost your dream job, or you're going through a horrible traumatic breakup, or a lot of the times, we just overwork ourselves to the point that we are so tired and all we wanna do is curl up in our beds and binge watch Netflix all day and do nothing. And you know, after living a little bit of life, I don't know if it's just me, but whenever something unfortunate happens in my life, it almost feels like the world hears it and is just against you. And then it's just like a cascade of unfortunate events that keep on happening right after. It's like, bruh, can life like chill out? Like, can you stop trying to humble me right now? Like, I get it. My best friend and I have this saying that when it rains, it pours. And it is so true. Like when one unfortunate thing happens in your life, it's almost like a bunch of other unfortunate things happen right after. And that's kind of what inevitably brings you to a slump. But whatever the reason is, you want to pinpoint your exact reasons why you might be in a slump. And it's because this is actually going to help you actively get out of your slump instead of just letting the time pass by and going through the motions and letting yourself dig deeper and deeper into your slump until at the end of it, when you hit rock bottom, you look up and you're like, why am I here? Like, what happened? You have to decide for yourself that you want to take control and find the solution. This sounds so much easier said than done, I get it, but listen, if you've been in a slump, you understand when you're in it, it's so easy to just fall into it. Like, screw this, why is this happening to me right now? Why do I feel this way? Like, this sucks. And then you just give it all up, and then you just let yourself fall deeper and deeper into feeling sad, mad, and you just like beat yourself up. I'm telling you guys though, the discomfort that you're going to feel trying to pull yourself out of your slump is still far better than the extreme discomfort you're gonna feel when you just let yourself procrastinate and stay and prolong your slump. And then you just get to a point where you see the months and years pass by and you look back and you're still in the same spot. Like, that sucks. Like, that is not ideal. You start to not kind of like take care of yourself. You stop socializing usually. Maybe you stop going outside, doing the hobbies that you used to love. So take accountability. Figure out what you actually have control over in any problem or scenario that you're in and write them down. So for example, right, you might write down, I'm currently in a slump because I got rejected from my dream job that I worked so hard for. Plus the guy I really liked just ghosted me out of nowhere. I feel super lonely because I have no friends to talk about it with. And I'm super stressed with finances, my future, and I just don't really feel like myself anymore. Which all this stuff I mentioned, very relatable, very. But if you really think about it, if we put half the energy we put into complaining all the time about the problems that we're in into finding the solution and fixing it, we would all get out of our slumps a lot more faster, okay? Let's be honest. So you guys know I like to keep it real with you guys. I'm gonna share with you guys my most recent slump this past year that, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to get out of. So last year, I graduated NYU, class of 2022, hey. And you know, it's supposed to be like this happy, transformative time of your life, very exciting. No, not for me. My college best friends, who were also my roommates at the time, they were my closest friends when we had a huge falling out. And then shortly after that, my dream sponsorship with this activewear company that I was working with, they decided to let me go. And then financially, I was kind of very confused, kind of in a struggle. And then on top of that, it was my first time ever living alone. So I was dealing with a lot of loneliness and I was starting to struggle a lot with social anxiety. And this is actually when I started to pursue YouTube full time, which was my dream career. But for some reason, I woke up every day so anxious, so uncertain. I had no direction. I honestly had little to no motivation to post. And honestly, I did not want to confront any of my problems, okay? I wanted to run away from them. And instead of confronting my problems head on, like I should have, I just completely shut down. And I had no motivation or energy to do anything. My short-term solution was to get a cat, which, speaking of, this is Miss Pika. Hello. And now I'm a crazy cat lady, so I guess it helped a little bit. But you know, long term, I had to find an actual solution, and that solution was to take control. Take control of any area of my life that I could. Which leads me to my next point: control your problems, don't let them control you. What I mean by this is stop waiting for outside circumstances to change for you to be happy. You have to change yourself first. I think the reason we start to get into these negative cycles is because we lack control of our own selves and of our own lives. So with the falling out with the friends thing, right? I started to realize realized that it wasn't the actual friends that I missed, because quite honestly, that friendship was not serving me and it was getting a bit toxic towards the end. It was the stability that I missed. But I realized that that stability needs to come from myself, not from other people. So I'm grateful for that because it forced me to become independent and force myself to spend time alone and alone with my thoughts, figure out who I was, and learn to enjoy my time alone. And finally, after months, I stopped complaining about not having friends and actually did something about it. Now I have a very solid group of friends that I'm very happy with. Financially, I'm not gonna lie guys, I was in la land for the longest time, okay? Not really knowing what's going on because I was so intimidated by finances and I didn't understand how anything really worked until this year I decided to put my big girl pants on and learn some financial literacy online and learn how to save, how to invest, it's like all those things. Like, who is she? Because I don't know her. Broke college Lena could never. So speaking of putting my big girl pants on and learning some personal finance, a huge help for me this year has been Acorns. Huge shout out to Acorns for sponsoring today's video. So if you're like me, personal finance was one of those things that I literally ran away from because it was something I never really understood or learned. So I was very intimidated by it. And I thought because I wasn't some finance whiz, I wouldn't know how to do it. But you know, part of me growing up and you know, being in my little independent girl era, that also meant I needed to learn how to save money and invest in my future. And I am telling you guys, Acorns has made it so much easier to do so. So Acorns helps you save and invest for your future with portfolios that are diversified by Acorns, customized by you. Acorns has automated saving and investing starting with spare change. And Acorns keeps the foundation of your base portfolio diversified for the long term, just like they always do. And what's super helpful, especially for people like me who are very new and beginner to this, is that you can get tools and guidance along the way to learn more about investing. You can access premium education, including expert-led bite-sized courses, interactive quizzes, videos, and more. Listen, the sooner you start investing, the more chance your money has to grow over time. And it's very important for you, especially in your independent era. Acorns helps you save and invest for your future. You can sign up today at acorns.com/Lena or head to link in my description and download Acorns and start saving and investing for your future today. And thank you again to Acorns for sponsoring today's video. And that dream sponsorship, I'm not gonna lie, it sucked being dropped by them. It was a very humbling experience. It made me question myself, my future in social media. It made me question if I was good enough. But then I realized while I was working with them, I was honestly getting way too comfortable with myself. I wasn't really focused so much on growing my own channel. I was only focused on posting for them. And it really stunted my growth. So once I started taking control over these areas of my life, things finally started changing. I finally started climbing out of the slump that I was in. And now I'm more confident and happier than I've ever been. And listen, I get it. Going through things sucks. Being rejected, no matter what it is, whether it's a person or a job, I've been rejected by both. But let me tell you one thing that you really need to understand. What is meant for you will come to you. And this does not mean that you could just sit on your butt all day and expect things to be handed to you. That's not how life works. Wouldn't that be nice? But no. So even the rejections I had in life, the friends that stopped being friends with me, the sponsorship that dropped me, etc., it was always a blessing in disguise because that stuff was never meant for me. And something else even better is given to me. And you know, it's not a bad thing to feel bad for yourself. Like, it's a hard pill to swallow. So give yourself that day or two to like cry about it, scream about it into a pillow, whatever you gotta do. But then after that day or two, it's go time. Let's go. Let's get it done. Because like, are you going to spend the rest of your life dwelling and being sad about one person rejecting you or that one job rejecting you? No, you are meant for so much more. And even taking control of little areas of my life. So how I start and end my day. I have my little morning routine and my night routine that I always stick to. I also have a monthly, weekly, daily schedule that I mostly stick to. And then I slowly started to realize I wasn't in my slump anymore. Something I realize now is that I had this very negative mindset in my life. I always believed that my life was so unfair. So like all these bad things always happen to me. Once I shifted my mindset to life will give me what I deserve and I have the ultimate power to do what I want to do and be the person that I want to be, things started changing and I started getting more control. So before you find yourself in a full-blown slump, there's always telltale signs that you're about to fall into one. And so for me, it's actually my closet. Like if I notice that things are starting to get very messy and disorganized and my clothes are all over the place, things are not really clean, it's kind of a sign that I'm starting to not really take care of myself. This is not the case for everybody, you know? Some people don't have the most organized spaces, which is fine. But for me, like I'm a very organized person when it comes to my room. I like it to be very clean. So when it starts to get messy, that's when I'm like, girl, you need a rest. Also, if I notice I'm starting to skip my workouts more and I'm skipping meals, so I'm not eating as much, if I'm sleeping in way more and I'm starting to snooze my alarm more, those are kind of my signs signs that I'm probably gonna hit a slump soon if I continue this way. So once you pinpoint your telltale signs of your slump that's coming, you become self-aware, and then you can catch yourself before you fall full-blown into that slump. So if you start to notice these little signs here and there, take the day or week that you need to just chill out, okay? And I don't mean don't go to school for a week or don't go to your job for a whole week. It's more so doing self-care acts for yourself. You know, just kind of taking a chill pill, taking a step back. So little things, you can like watch your favorite movie, read your favorite book, do a nice little spa day, treat yourself to your favorite dessert, go have a fun night out with your friends, and basically just love on yourself, guys. Self-care really goes a long way. And self-care is a way of just telling your body, like, please do not self-destruct. Like, we are gonna take care of you, don't worry. You cannot expect yourself to be motivated 100% of the time and be perfect 100% of the time. It is way better and more efficient for you to just take a step back and take the rest that you need rather than just continuing down this path. Change the way you view your slump. Part of why we honestly dig ourselves deeper and deeper into our slump is because number one, we aren't really self-aware, and two, we talk so down to ourselves. So if you're currently in a slump right now, be gracious to yourself. Like, please stop being so down on yourself. Like stop telling yourself, I'm lazy, I'm this, I'm that. Take that negative thought out of your brain and throw it out the window, okay? We don't need that negative energy, the negative vibes here, okay? If you are in a slump, see it as a necessary break for you to come back stronger. Like, we are humans, we need rest. Be kinder to yourself. Like, bruh, we are really mean to ourselves. Like, I am my own worst enemy sometimes. We often detest ourselves for our inability to do things in life with full motivation and to our expectation. And then when we get burnt out, we then detest ourselves for being in the slump and being unhappy. This whole negative cycle is our own doing, but that also means we have the power to get out of it. Your comeback will be even stronger. Believe me, okay? Believe me. I can 100% attest to this. And also a lot of like professional athletes and even celebrities that you hear, a lot of times they talk about how right before they reach success, they were in like the worst point of their lives. They were struggling financially. They were so stressed out. They were really unhappy. And then shortly after, they find their success. There's this picture I saw a while ago. It basically captures this idea perfectly. It's basically a man digging in a tunnel and like the diamonds and the gold is right there. But since he's been digging for so long, he's like, I give up. But the success is like right there, right in front of his eyes. He just doesn't know. And that's how I feel about slumps. Your diamond, your gold, your success, and what you want is like right around the corner. Like, even if you're in the biggest, longest slump that you've ever been in your life right now, and maybe you're at the lowest point of your life right now, be excited, be hyped, because your success is right around the corner. So you can't give up. Also, maybe this is me being a little bit delulu. I am delulu a lot of the times. When I go through things in life, or if I'm in a slump, I see it as like the start to my villain arc, you know? Like, this is the story you get to tell when you come back the other side way stronger, happier, successful, you know what I mean? And then you get to motivate others and tell others your story, and it's super motivational for them to hear. After every single slump I've ever been in that I thought I would never get out of, there's always something unexpected but even greater that came out of it. So even right before I started my YouTube channel ever, I was the most depressed I've ever been. And then my YouTube channel bloomed. So, you know, that's like proof. What makes me happy and keeps me motivated is not because I think I'm going to be the most successful Victoria's Secret model gorgeous person out there, because that's just unrealistic for me. But the reason why I'm so excited to wake up every day and feel like I have a purpose is because there was a time in my life where I literally couldn't even get out of bed and I hated myself. So that transformation in and of itself is a huge confidence booster and a reminder that I can get out of any slump that I'm in. So overall motivation and tips. When I was in my slump, I had to ask myself the hard questions, you know? I had to sit down and ask myself, do I really want to live the rest of my life knowing that I was just going through the motions of life and I was unhappy most days? And no, I never unlocked the full potential of who I could be and become the best version of myself that I can be. And when the discomfort of that outweighed the discomfort of pulling myself out of the slump that I was in, I finally was able to turn my life around. Like, guys, you see people living the life that you want. You see people being the person that you want to be. That's proof that it's possible. So why do you keep telling yourself that you can't do it? Like, you clicking on this video honestly shows that you care about yourself and that you want to get out of the slump that you're in. And these people you are putting on a pedestal that you think that they're special and that's why they reached this, or maybe you even put me on a pedestal, which I really, really hope you don't, because that is so false and I am not. I am very normal, and we all, you and me, and we all deserve to become the person that we want and have the life that we want, practice the healthy habits that we want. Like, you deserve to be happy. So I believe in you, and I believe that you're gonna get out of this slump and that you're gonna come out stronger than ever. And this slump is only the next step for you to unlock your fullest potential, because if my average self can do it, I promise you can too. Please comment down below any other topics you want me to talk about or cover, some advice that you guys want. I read all of my comments. If you're not subscribed already, what are you doing? Okay, what are you doing? Also follow me on Instagram if you're a real one. I love you guys so, so much, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye, guys.
Taking a ride to join a lake. 씹으면서 들어가 할 때 찾아